Hey everybody, it's CJ here. I got a new setup, as you can see. I got new camera stuff. I got everything set together to make some new awesome videos. I just need more free time. My goodness, being a full-time teacher and manga collector is tough. But you know what? Thanks to all this new stuff, thanks to my new motivation, I can finally get back to doing what I love, which is, of course, reviewing manga. And, what's wrong with her face? Here are all the mangas from January and February 2019, and I have a bit of catch-up to do, don't I? I have volumes stacked upon volumes. Jeez. Let's go ahead and get started. First with Again. So, yeah, we got volumes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and of course 12, which, man, 12's got an amazing cover. So Again is, well, a fantastic series. It's a slice of life, sort of supernatural, sort of sci-fi adventure where a gentleman, he's graduating high school, he trips on some stairs, crashes, knocks his head, and he's suddenly back to his first day of high school. And he thinks to himself, hey, what if I joined the male cheerleading squad? Like, what would have changed had I actually gone and, like, done the thing I thought about maybe doing? And that's what the whole series is about. Now, I really liked these volumes, but it's really clear that something happened. Either the author had to quit or it was canceled or something, because the final arc's about them getting ready to, like, perform for this, like, track meet, and they start doing it, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere there's, like, this super dramatic thing that happens, and the story just kind of ends. And I'm gonna be real with you, I liked the ending. I liked it a lot, but I'm also kind of the person that likes controversial endings, so I have a feeling that a lot of fans weren't satisfied by the end, but I thought the end was awesome, super trippy, and kind of hilarious. So would I recommend Again? If you like weird stuff, go for it. I also heard that the author went on to work on Yuri on Ice, so if you liked that, maybe try Again. Yeah, why not? Next we have Angels of Death, and this was recommended by Miss Unamused Nerd. Thank you so much, and thank you, of course, for your support of the channel, as always. This was an interesting volume, I gotta admit. It kind of reminded me of, like, Danganronpa, if you've ever played that video game. It was about a girl who, she wakes up on the bottom floor of this, like, really big building, and she's told that she has to climb up the floors, and for each floor she climbs up, she has to basically evade and dodge a serial killer who's hanging out on that floor. And spoilers for this volume, she ends up teaming up with a serial killer who was on the first floor. He ends up, like, making it onto the second floor, which is against the rules, and so the two of them have to work together to make their way through the place. And yeah, this series be crazy. This is crazy. What are you doing, Miss Unamused Nerd? Giving me this crazy stuff. I liked it, though. It was fun. It was super edgy. Unfortunately, a little too edgy to put in my classroom, but otherwise a lot of fun. I hope the main character spices up a bit after this volume, because she seemed kind of dull to me, but, you know, who knows? It could get better from this point on. Next we have Blackgate, and look at this boy. This boy is thick. This was recommended, of course, by Alexandria Pribble, so she's so cool, by the way, just saying. Follow her on Twitter. But yeah, actually everybody who recommends stuff is cool, just saying. But Blackgate is awesome. How do I put this the right way? It was clearly made in the 2000s. Like, when I looked up in the beginning of this book and saw it was made in 2007, I was like, yeah, makes sense. So basically the plot of Blackgate is there's these things called white gates that appear when people die, and they, like, take your soul to the realm beyond. But then every once in a while there's that Blackgate, and the Blackgate takes people's souls unnecessarily and causes tragedies, and oh my gosh. But I mean, it's great. It's basically about, like, this guy and his, like, adoptive son. The adoptive son is more the main character than the guy, and they basically fight together to close these things. And yeah, it gets, in the beginning it was more of like a sort of, like, how do I put this the right way, almost like a buddy cop sort of adventure where they're, like, going around trying to close these gates and solve these mysteries. And then later on it turns, like, super existential, and it gets very, very trippy. Awesome, like, for the price. I mean, look at that. Look how thick that is. This is the entire series. Oh my gosh. I got it for really cheap too. I got it for like $10. So it was awesome for the price. Would I recommend it? Yeah, if you can find it used. Sure, why not? If that sounds interesting to you, go get it. It was pretty interesting. Next we have everyone's getting married, and this was recommended by Daniel S. I haven't taken off the library sticker yet. New York Public Library, like, dang, coming at you from New York. It's a fun volume. I really like that the main characters are older. They're adults. They're not like edgy teenagers. They make decisions that are, yes, ridiculous, but totally within like a realm of realism. I like that the female character wants to get married, but the guy character doesn't. I like that there's a lot of like, will they, won't they kind of stuff in there. Yeah, it's fun. Would I recommend it? Yeah, if you like this stuff, for sure. I usually don't like this stuff, and I had fun throughout the volume, so that should tell you how good this is. Just saying. Next, we have Comey Can't Communicate, and this one, I actually forgot to review this one in past reviews, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. So we got Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Am I going to get any more after this? Nah, probably not. Comey Can't Communicate, I initially got this series because I thought it sounded interesting for my classroom. It's about a girl who is super, super popular, but as the title implies, she has social problems. And so she and the main character, who, by the way, the main character is very, very sweet, which is unusual for this sort of manga. The main character and her work together to find her 100 friends, and that's the whole point of the manga. It's very cute. But I'm going to be honest, the joke has kind of run its course for me. Like, I get it. She can't communicate. She's shy, and that leads to funny ha-has. But I am dropping this one for the same reason I'm dropping Kaguya. It's just, I like slice of life sometimes, but sometimes I don't. It's kind of weird. I don't know like why or why not a series will ever just hit home for me, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Next we have Magica Record, Noella Magi, Madoka Magica, Side Story. Did I just say Madoka again? Oh wait, Madoka is the right way to say it. Sometimes I say Madoka. But anyway, Magica Record. This is based off of the mobile phone video game, and I'm gonna be real with you, I tried so hard to get into this game. I just don't like mobile games. I really, really don't. I'm more of like a console gamer myself, so I tried. But Magica Record is also currently being released as an anime adaptation, and let me tell you, of the two, the anime is way better. Both stories try to adapt the mobile game story into like their own mediums, and the anime for some reason just does it way better. And not even just as a medium, just with the choices it makes, because it's really, really clear that both the manga and the anime like are adding things to the story, and the anime just chooses to add so much better content. That being said, the anime is not perfect either, but of the two, definitely check out the anime. I'll be getting future volumes of the story though, just to see how the two differ, because you never know, maybe the manga will pull out in the end. Who knows? Next we have My Hero Academia Volume 23, and oh, I hate, see this? See this tiny little bit of the spine sticking out? Makes me mad, makes me so mad. Viz, why do you do this? If this was not going into my classroom to be put into the hands of a grubby 7th or 8th grader who would bend the volume anyway, I would have taken this back immediately. This is ridiculous. Viz, get on your crap, please. I'm begging you. Otherwise, awesome volume. Shinzo, this character here, is a really fun character. Gosh, oh my gosh, please, please, please include him more in future volumes. I beg of you, he's so cool. I love mind control powers, they're so fun. Next, we got Nicola traveling around the demon's world, and as I said last time, pretty sure I said this last time, holy crud, unfortunate title. Like, oh my gosh. I tried recommending this to the school librarian, and she was like, are you kidding me? Demon? I'm not putting that on the shelves. And I can't blame her. It's a terrible title. I wish it was called Nicola Traveling Around the Monsters World. This is a fantastic series. I would love to recommend this to anybody. This is why it's on my classroom shelf. The main character, Nicola, is super, super cute. Her traveling companion, Simon, is a little bit of a, how do I put this the right way? He kind of reminds me of like, that's sort of like Reagan Arakata from Mob Psycho 100. He's kind of like a con artist, kind of type character. Nicola herself is super cute. The lessons that she learns are just awesome. She solves her problems with friendship, kindness, compassion, patience. It's so good. It's just that the title is just trash. And also the art's amazing too. It's got kind of this like rough sort of style, almost like this amateurish style, and the ink is brown, which gives it a super, super soft feeling. Highly recommend Nicola Traveling Around the Demon's World. Give this series a chance. It's so cute. Anyway, coming all the way over here. Hey, speaking of the Viz curse, this was another volume I had to return because the spine came in the mail and it was junk. But now I have a nice volume. So good. I'll be doing this from this point on with One Punch Man. I'm just going to go to the bookstore. It's so worth it. This volume's awesome. Garo's awesome. I love this monster arc. It's great. What more can you say? It's One Punch Man. Next, we got Promised Neverland. And, whoo boy, this series is just climbing to a close, which I'm kind of grateful for. I'm going to be real with you because my students have even noticed how many volumes of this there are on the shelf. I think this and My Hero Academia tie for like the most volumes I have of a series on my classroom shelf. And the students get kind of antsy when they see a lot of volumes, and they actually like don't like to read a series with a lot of volumes. So I'm kind of grateful that it's ending soon for that reason. But we'll see. I'm curious to reread this series again when it's complete because I kind of think they're rushing toward the ending a little bit too fast. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Most recent chapter that came out was pretty fun. Next, we have To Your Eternity, which this one is also coming to a screeching halt, and thank goodness, or at least it seems like it is. With the recent arc that's come out, recent chapters, I don't see how it could really go too many places after this. But this one's been a lot of fun. It's just that the covers are really weird. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, the art in the manga is perfectly fine, but for some reason this artist just, like, draws the most awkward covers. Like, look at this girl's face. Like, she looks so pretty in the manga. Why does she look so weird in the cover? What's going on here? I don't know. Hey, speaking of covers, look at this one. Skullface bookseller Honda-san, which I love this series, but I'm confused because at the end of this volume, the author says that there's supposed to be a fourth one, which even she or he, I'm not really sure, I'm just going to say she for the sake of it, is like, look, I don't understand how there can be a fourth one because I've quit being a bookseller. This is a true story, so how can there be a fourth one? And yeah, how can there be a fourth one? I don't know. But awesome series nonetheless. I especially recommend this to people who are either thinking about going to Japan or have been to Japan before and are interested in buying manga over there because holy crap, there's so much cool insight into this, into that aspect of shopping in Japan. And in particular, I really like what Honda has to say about foreigners because foreigners, like being a foreigner in Japan, I always am like, oh gosh, I hope they don't think I'm like a weeb or something like that. And in reality, they kind of don't care. In fact, I kind of like it because you're bringing business to their country. So highly recommend checking this out. It's a lot of fun. Next, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So good. This volume in particular finishes the introduction of one of my favorite characters, Rohan. It also has the very small appearance of my favorite JoJo, Joseph Joestar. And it's good. This is probably my favorite volume of part 4 for that reason. And yeah, JoJo's fun. You know JoJo. Get it, support it. Viz is doing a great job with these releases. Next, we have Five Worlds, another recommendation. This one in particular is called Five Worlds, The Sand Warrior. And this one was from Shailene Green. Thank you so much, Shailene Green. Let me just say for just a moment how dense this story is. The world is super dense. Holy crud. This feels like a mix between like Avatar: The Last Airbender and like Star Wars. It's hard to explain, but I really like it. It's really creative. I have not had a student read it yet, but I have a feeling that whenever a student does read it, they're going to be shocked. I mean, there's so much that went into this series. Like, holy crud. I mean, just a fantastic ride. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend giving this to basically any kid. It's really cool. And it's, how do we put this the right way? The themes and subjects that it addresses are really tough, but they address it in such a way that it's not overtly shocking to kids, which I love when like TV series, movies, games, comics, anything can do that for a kid. That's so cool. Thank you so much for the recommendation. It is just awesome. Anyway, next up we got Land of the Lustrous. What up, my sweet series? And as I mentioned many times in the past, boom, that's the Japanese release. And you can tell the difference here. You know, we got holographic fun and not holographic fun. I wish we had the same release in the US. That'd be so cool. Land of the Lustrous, as you guys know, is kind of a big deal to me. I love it so much. Super excited for volume 11. We are racing toward the end of the series. And, oh man, it is suffering and it is great. And I love it. Give me some of that sweet suffering, Ichikawa. Bless up. Next, we have The Way of the House Husband. And this was recommended by Bill Murray, who I attended college with. We took an English class together, and thank you so much, Bill, for being a constant supporter of the channel. You were so cool. This is one of those other Viz signature volumes, and whenever Viz does a signature volume, you can basically guarantee that it's going to be a nice quality. It's not going to have any spine issues or anything like that. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but the gold like reflects the light. It's super cool. I also got the second volume because of course I did. The first volume was just too good. This series, as the name implies, is about a former gangster becoming a house husband, and it's very, very, very silly. Not only do obviously normal people mistake him for being a true gangster and get scared of him, but also gangsters and cops expect way too much of him, and then will later discover, oh no, he was not dealing drugs. He was actually giving like Brussels sprouts to his neighbor. It's super cute. It's super funny. I love the main couple in the series. Oh, they're just wonderful. And I'm super excited to read more of this. My only complaint is it is a bit expensive for how little you get of it. But, you know, other than that, it's awesome. Next we have In Real Life. And this one, man, how do I put this the right way? Smiling Spectre, speaking of which, thank you so much for the recommendation. Always appreciated those recommendations. I gotta be real with you though. I kind of didn't really expect much of this. I kind of thought it was going to be one of those, I'm a gamer girl, and girls can game too. And it starts off kind of like that. And not that there's a problem with that kind of story, but it's been overdone. Instead, it turns into a really, really, really interesting story about like disparity and rights and stuff like that. In particular, and this will just give away if you know anything about online gaming what I'm talking about, but she ends up friending a gold farmer from China, and he becomes one of the main characters in the book, and wow, that is an interesting topic. You can tell that the person who wrote this story definitely plays games. I mean, they play games, no doubt about it. Like, this was not just a cash grab sort of thing. Just a cash grab. Of course, any book is published to make money. But this was not just sort of, we're going to make money on this because it's about games. Like, this person clearly plays games too. So yeah, high recommendation for me. The ending is a little sappy, little unrealistic, but for a kid's story, that sort of thing is perfectly fine. And I love it. Next we have Hollow Fields. This was another recommendation for my classroom by Spiral Curse. This one is cray-cray. You can definitely tell this story was originally written in 2007 because it definitely has some of like that sort of edgy stuff that was common with series back then. And before you go about saying that this was a Promise Neverland ripoff, I mean, look at those two main characters. No, it's not. This was written in 2007, so no connection. However, it is a Harry Potter ripoff. So it's basically Harry Potter, but the school is like gothic and dark and dangerous. Well, I guess more dangerous than Hogwarts. It's fun though. I haven't had a student read it yet, but when they do, I hope to talk about it because yeah, it's cute. I like the art. But I will warn you guys, the art on the cover is different from the art inside. This was definitely done by a different artist. Next we have Salem Moon and, sorry. Yeah, this cover's terrible. This cover's nice though. Yeah, they did a really good job here. So something I noticed, and I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this now. Yeah, I forgot to review all these volumes. All these volumes. Like, I forgot to review these volumes. I don't know what happened. I was looking in past videos, and for some reason, I just kind of forgot. I'm not really sure why. I think maybe it's because I keep these volumes in a separate place, usually. In my front room, actually, more like it. And yeah, just forgot. So here's my review of them now. I've only reviewed, like, the first one. They're great. They're cool. They're awesome. They're fun. I really like the covers, despite that. It's really cool. I can't show you the inside, but they have full color art of not only chapter art, but also of like, you know, the color pages that were originally colored in the magazines. Super, super excellent edition. If you are a fan of Salem Moon, these are a must-have. But unfortunately, the recommendation I'm going to give you now is not really going to come in handy. I would say pre-order these volumes because you can get them at like $21, $22 a pop versus like $30 each. They are fantastic, great quality volumes, and a high recommendation for me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you as always for supporting the channel. Now it's your turn. Leave what you want me to recommend in the comments below, and I will buy those, hopefully if they're not too expensive, and get to those. Oh, your recommendations are so cool. Hey, and speaking of which, guys, New setup, new life. Yeah, there's gonna be a manga collection video coming up soon. Full collection video, finally, now that I have the setup of my dreams. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is CJ, signing off.